What is up, A team? Welcome back. Awesome here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day, or not, depending where you're at, but I hope it is awesome. And yes, we're back at it today to talk more about crypto, to talk more about the markets. As you guys know, the markets have been looking absolutely phenomenal today, right? This is the relief rally that I think a lot of us have been waiting for, at least a lot of us are hoping for. Oops, is this the relief rally that we're going to continue with? Or is this a relief rally that's just here for a short term? I'm hoping that we continue to rally out of this. Very, very great news today with Vanguard, Bank of America. We're seeing BlackRock rally back into it. I think just a lot of positive news coming out today. Trump just made an announcement. Also, if you guys aren't aware, he made an announcement talking about everyone, no income tax here in the near future for a lot of people. You know, I live in Washington State, so we've never had income tax here in Washington. So it's nothing crazy for me. But the cool part is that for a lot of other people out there, that's a massive gain for a ton of people. And yeah, I think there was a dead cat bounce, dude. I think that we saw the markets do some phenomenal things. I mean, indicators out there were telling us a lot of things, and regardless of how you feel about it, I know a lot of people out there. The bears are obviously eating up this space. Bears are winning over the last month and a half. You know what I mean? And it's okay. That's crypto. That's what happens in this space. But the positive thing is that we're bouncing back, and we didn't hit the levels that we thought we were going to on this downturn. I mean, we hit levels that we didn't want to see, but I mean, we didn't go past. We didn't create a lower low, which was phenomenal, right? We did create another dip in the market, but it wasn't anything like that we couldn't recover from, and we're starting to see that now. I just hope that we actually can sustain the rally. That's been our biggest hit right now, is actually sustaining the rally. Unfortunately, we over leverage ourselves. We've seen that in the markets, and then that's another thing here is that the markets, everyone cooled down on leveraging the markets. We saw a massive outflow of people just not leveraging on the markets over the last 24 to 48 hours, which is also a help for the market. We do know that those leveragings have just been obliterating the markets in themselves. And so it's nice to sort of see us maybe calm down a little bit. It's nice for us to actually see that. And we'll see what happens here. But before we jump into it all and show everything, because I do got some charts up here, I do got some things that I want to share with everyone here. We got Just Meow in the house here. What's up, my guy? We got Andrew B. What's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Inez, Tony Punch, Dave's Dog Zoe. Good to see you guys, dude. We got AMFX. What's up, dude? Swords and Daisy. What's up, dude? Crypto Joel. What's up, my guy? We got Shannon, Alexi. Jorge, what's up, bud? We got Travis. What's up, man? Travis. We got Matt in the house here. What's up, dude? Speaking of generally and looking on Twitter, in general sense, people immediately go hot and cold and vice versa. Oh, yeah. X is not the space to go if you want to like calm your nerves, dude. It's pretty wild space. Like I said, I remain bullish. Remain bullish. Like I said, I even when the bears are out there, you try to remain bullish, try to find the positives in the markets. And I think that's what I continue to do here. Is to try to find the positives, also show the negatives. But I mean, I still lean more towards the positives. And that's kind of what's happening today. It's nice to see the positivity in the market. We're back above a 3,000 Ethereum, which is great, right? I mean, 217 for XRP, massive bounce back. And then Bitcoin back up to 91.65. So, I mean, yeah, you can't be too upset. We got the XCL Mafia in the house here. XCL and Cent are getting up really nicely. Yeah, they're looking really good, dude. Neil, what's going on? It's good to see you, dude. Jorge, yes. We got Trent in the house here. You can tell the devs are listening. Oh, that's good to hear, dude. That's good to hear. Yeah, it's always good when devs here. Texas made Randy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Harley. Appreciate everyone here. We got Tim Shea, got the Mayor Crypto in the house here. What's up, everyone over on the TikTok side? Appreciate you guys all being here. Hopefully, TikTok sounds okay this time. Give me a thumbs up, or say something if TikTok sounds like ass. And I'm sorry if it does. I've been trying to get my TikTok streaming right. I am on Mac, so Mac Studios just allowed me to do it. So kind of excited about it, but seems like it's been slacking a little bit on that side. So sorry about that. Good morning to you too, Road Dog. We got Shannon coming in hot here, dude. That's crazy. 39 months from Shannon, dude. Let's go, dude. Shannon holding it down, dude. The longest A-team member in the house here at 39 months, man. Shannon's always been holding it down for me, dude. And I couldn't be more appreciative of you guys over there. So thank you guys so much for always supporting it. Long time. We got Tim Shane here with 34 months. I appreciate you too, bud. And you guys have always, like I said, held it down. Even in times where I've missed some streams, haven't been consistent. You guys have always held through, and I couldn't be more appreciative of that. So thank you guys so much. But okay, if I missed some of you guys, I am sorry. Let's jump into it. We got some things to cover today. As you guys can see, the cryptocurrency market is trending back upward. We reclaimed the $3 trillion market cap up to a 3.11 trillion, and looking good, dude. Let's see, Lancia. I can't say your name. I think it's Lancia, dude. Are we entering the bull market? I mean, we've been in this bull market. Audio is clear. Hell yeah, Andrew. Appreciate you hopping over there and telling me, dude. Yeah, I think we've never really entered out of. I mean, we've been on like a bear. We've been on a bull trend for a while. And then we've had a little bit of some bearish cycling coming in. I mean, that's kind of what it is. And I wouldn't say that we're like it's kind of hard to see the cycles. I'll share some charts. I'll let you guys make a decision on what you think is where we're at, based off what the indicators are saying. Again, new set of charts here every day, new things reset. It's good to see things here. Broda, good to see you too, man. Appreciate you being here, man. I think I've been here a year now. Hell yeah, you don't say. Appreciate that, dude. Appreciate you being here a year, dude. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Tripper, what's up, bud? But you can see right here, Ethereum back above the 3,000 mark. Bitcoin trying to reclaim back that 92,000. XRP back to 217, looking phenomenal here. Let's go out down to one of our babies here, and Hedera making a nice little rally back upwards, trying to get back to the 15-cent marker. Even Dogecoin looking pretty good, but almost trying to get back to that 15-cent marker. Solana making a nice little climb back up here. The best one of the day right now that I saw was Chainlink. Chainlink was on a tear this morning, dude. Doing phenomenal. I think the XRP ETF inflows will be the strongest level of inflows. I think so too. What is the reason the markets are pumped today? Good question. We're going to jump into that right now. After I get through this, the Dow up 122, S&P 500 up 10, and the NASDAQ up 125, obviously on the edge of Bitcoin bounce back and the tech share gains. But this is reason why, dude. If anyone has any questions about why we're pumping, well, you just had one of the largest, if not $11 billion or 11 trillion. Is it 11 trillion? I think it's $11 trillion company in Vanguard will now be allowing trading of spot crypto ETFs on their platform. It will give 50 million clients access to funds holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana. Those are the four ETF funds that they're going to allow to be trading on their platform. This is huge, dude. I mean, Vanguard, if you don't remember, Vanguard in 2024 came out and said, yeah, 11 trillion. Vanguard came out and actually said in 2024 that they would never get into crypto. There's videos out there, dude. Go watch it, dude. The CEO of Vanguard was like, I'll never touch crypto. I'll never get into crypto. Like, crypto's a scam. Basically, everything negative about crypto in 2023-24. Now look what happened, dude. These institutions can't hold back. They see the money coming in on this. They see the amount of fees that they're generating from this. Like, they're obviously going to continue to come in. And what's crazy about this is BlackRock's going to do the same. BlackRock is going to eventually get an XRP ETF. Even though BlackRock said they weren't going to get one, we know that they're eventually going to get an ETF for BlackRock's going to get an XRP ETF. It's going to happen. But you can also see here, Bank of America came out here and said that they recommend their clients put anywhere from 1% to 4% of their portfolio into Bitcoin and crypto. So crazy when you start to look at this, right? I've told you guys, institutions will continue to rule this space. Now it's here. It's for the taking. And we have massive companies coming out here and now kind of backing their crypto here. JP Morgan's obviously the odd duck out here. Being one of the largest banks out there, they still are kind of the odd duck out. But I mean, what's really crazy about it is that you have Vanguard, like I said, being a complete negative Nancy about crypto. No offense to Nancy's, but they were, and it just kind of sucked. And then all of a sudden, now BlackRock was like that when it came to the XRP ETF. But I think they're going to have a turnaround here. The XRP ETFs are doing phenomenal right now. If you go back and look at the XRP trackers on the ETFs, they've been really, really good. I couldn't find the one that I originally had. I'm going to have to ask Andrew to send the one that he had. I couldn't find it again, but also, this is what I wanted to show out here. So we show about these charts right here, and we talk about the liquidity index along with BTC pricing here. So liquidity index is obviously here in the dark blue or black, depending on what you're looking at on your screen. And then the nice printing behind it in this calm looking color is actually BTC. That's the pricing of BTC here. And so every major liquidity collapse in the last 2 years have preceded a multi-week recovery. Again, I'm not saying that we're going to get back to the all-time highs of Bitcoin. That's not what I'm saying here. But what we will have is we will have a recovery here. And it says liquidity leads and price fall within 1 to 3 week lag. So we could talk about the bottom hitting right here. And if you go back and actually look at Bitcoin, let's take a look at the Bitcoin pricing here. And I'm going to have it on the weekly chart right here. It could take 1 to 3 weeks. We hit this back in November 17th, which is the ending week of November, right? Then we ended the week of November with this actually nice little rally into the final week of November. Even though November was actually a really, really bad month, you can see ending up 17% in the hole. We have now bounced back nicely in the last 2 weeks to come back up where we're at right now. So we're talking 1 to 3 week lag time. Go back and look at the chart here that I just had, and you can see that we're on a 1 to 3 week lag time right now. Bottom of the cycle for this liquidity collapse was around 80.5, and that was confirmed. It says a tactical recovery window opens into the mid-December. Momentum finally has room to rebuild, and that's kind of what we're seeing here. I mean, you can see right here the liquidity capitulation came down and hit the bottom. Literally hit the bottom for almost 3 going on 3 weeks. It hit the bottom. So when you're looking at these correlations between the two here, just go back and look at the last time we've had this liquidity capitulations. We had it back here in October. This was October of 2024. We had it in April of 2025. And now we're back down here at the same levels. And each time we rallied up and hit new all-time highs. I'm not saying that we're going to come back and hit an all-time high, but we have a very, very good chance of doing so. And so I know there's a lot of people out there that are very, very bearish on the markets right now, but this cycle does look different. And I'll show you why this cycle looks different. And you tell me whether this looks good or like it does look different. It's a completely different looking cycle, and I'll show you why. But let's jump through this next one here because I have one more thing to show you here. You guys know me on the channel here. Obviously, a lot of things that I do are based off RSI. I look at RSI for pretty much everything. I think that's probably one of the best indicators for me personally that I like to trade off of. I told you guys the 4 hour, the 1 day, and the weekly are like my bread and butter for making long-term positions here. And it's no different right here. I mean, you can see that the Stochh RSI has begun to curl up, and you can see this on all price now here. We've been tracking the weekly for the RSI for the last 6 months, and we knew that it was going to come down. We knew that the weekly was going to come down. We talked about this on the channel. I mean, go back and look at the weekly here for Bitcoin. We knew that this was going to come down, right? We knew it was going to hit the bottom on the weekly. Go back and look at these Stochh RSIs right here. Even XRP, right? XRP did the same exact thing. We knew this was going to come down. It hit peak value here. Ethereum, the same boat, right? The Ethereum RSI came down, but now we're starting to see this level come back up here. And this is kind of where we're going to have to really build momentum here and get back above this 20% marker. And once we get back above that 20% marker, I think we'll continue to rally. Again, even to reach levels of here, right, getting back to the 4,000, realize that you don't actually have to get all the way above the 80% to 100% to get back to there. This only went up to about roughly 40%, and we actually got up to $4,000. When we reached up to our all-time high of Ethereum, when we got up to almost 5,000 here, we actually did reach all-time highs, reach highs on the RSI. So, I mean, we are at a higher price point now than we were back then, right? We were at a higher, when we started back over here, we were roughly around 1,600 and we came up here, right? And then we came back down here and we hit levels around 2,200 and then we came up to these levels. And if you think about it, even at this point, when this came down here, we were at levels of almost roughly 1,400, actually 1,395 and came all the way up and hit record highs. Now we're starting at a new price point here. Didn't create a lower low. We're actually looking to create a higher low, and hopefully we can create a higher high out of these. So again, that's the bearish sentiment on this. So I get that some people want to be very negative about it, but it's hard to be negative when you have momentum shifting in the markets, right? So, and here comes the 80K, then 75K buckle up. This one's more violent down. We'll see what the recovery is going to be. I would agree, Andy, that we're going to have a downturn. We all know that downturn is going to come. I wonder how high this rally will come up before that next downturn, because we do know that a relief rally is here. Every metric out there is showing us this. So this relief rally here. I mean, the liquidity capitulation is down at the bottom. The RSIs are at the bottom. Like, you can only stay at the bottom for so long. And how far does this go up? I don't know. But we do know that a relief rally is here. I just don't know how high it's going to go. And then we do know that eventually, at some point, it's going to come back down. And how far does that go? We don't know. But I mean, yeah, you're talking maybe we hit these next levels. But right now, I'm going to ride the high. I'm going to ride the high on this one. And here's another good post here. Obviously, you guys know I go by the RSIs as well. And you can see right here that the weekly RSI just crossed the bullish. As you can see right here, BTC market structure suggests the bounce that could extend. It says main target in the channel is about roughly an 80% bearish to a neutral. So basically what we're saying here is that you can see that we've hit these levels on this channel here. Each time we've hit these levels, we actually went up a little bit. It wasn't a ton. It wasn't like this massive rally where we went up. I mean, we did hit all-time highs. We went from roughly 78,000 up to 126,000. Now we have a little bit of a higher low, and hopefully we continue to draw this up. But people are saying that we could get back to about 110,000 before we have another fall off here, which is what this person's saying here. He's saying we're going to hit this relief rally, probably get up to about 110,000, maybe 120,000, and then we could have this fall off, which goes back to what Andy just said here, is that we're actually going to go back down to 78 to anywhere from 70 to 78,000. But that's just one person's belief on this, right? But when we're looking at this is the cycle I'm talking about. Current position in the Bitcoin cycle. Look at this cycle, guys. This is not a normal looking cycle. Like, just look at the Bitcoin cycle indicator. And I told you guys, Timothy Peterson is really good at doing these Bitcoin cycles. If you guys aren't following Timothy Peterson, definitely go follow him. He's actually really good at doing these. He averages out a lot of things here to put it on a scale for you to like interpret like what it should look like from 2015 to today in pricing. And I just kind of like his charts. And so this Bitcoin cycle indicator is a really, really good one. And you got to realize we haven't even like reached up to the peak of like a Bitcoin cycle this time. We came down, hit our levels here, which is a very normal level that we hit during a bear cycle. You can see last bear cycles that we've hit here, we've come down about anywhere from 70 to 80%. We went well below the 80% marker back in 2023, climbed our way out of it. But look at the cycle here, dude. Like this cycle is not the same. And so I think it's super important that people realize that, like, people are like, oh, the cycle's this. Well, the cycle does not look the same, dude. And yeah, we're going to talk about the banana hammock guy, dude. The banana hammock guy is pretty, he's actually pretty spot on. And he came out and actually said today, people were actually didn't agree with him, but he did say that we are now shifting to a 5-year cycle. Some people don't think that that's true. Some people think that that's kind of crazy. But we'll see what happens, right? I mean, right now we can see right here that this right now, the current position in the Bitcoin cycle, this is not normal, dude. Like nowhere in the history of Bitcoin from 2000, when this launched back here in 2011, and then we come back and we look at right now, this is not a normal cycle. Like no one could look at this chart and tell me that this is a normal cycle. It's not a normal cycle. It doesn't look anything like the previous cycles at all. Not even close. So still optimistic, super conservative. I think you should be. I think you should be conservative, but be optimistic. I think that's actually really good. I think that's a positive thing. Good morning. What's up, Adam? Appreciate you being here, man. Happy belated Turkey Day. Are we back? Did we ever leave Vanguard? Yeah, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, Adam. Appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for the $5 super chat. And yeah, dude, we're still here, bro. Vanguard looking pretty good. Bank of America looking pretty good. And the Patriots did pretty well, dude. I'll give you that. But they went against the Giants, dude. Like that's, not shot at the Giants, but I mean, they are the Giants. More upward momentum. It's kind of feeling like that right now. You cannot talk about circles anymore when regulation's coming. I think circles, regulation's actually going to be positive for the markets. And you got to realize that even if you listen to Steve Atkins talk today, Steve Atkins actually said that this is going to create framework that's going to make it actually easier for crypto. So some people might think that regulation could actually put a stop to what's going on here. I don't think it's going to actually stop anything. If you listen to I said Paul, if you listen to Paul Atkins talk about it, Paul Atkins this morning on CNBC actually talked about the structure bill, right? The Genius Act that's coming through, and everything they're going through legislation right now is actually not going to hinder crypto in any way. It's actually going to advance it and make it better. And so that's what they're pushing for here. And so I'm all on board for that, dude. And that's kind of what's crazy is that I think that I'm with them. I mean, I think we should make this easy. I've been greased up for months now. Hell yeah, Observer. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Doesn't that chart look like the price is being held downward? It is being held downward. This is the institutions leverage trade. This is the institutions holding this down, dude. You got to think 2024 is when the ETFs came in here, right? This is when the cycle changed, guys. The ETF started in 2024. Go back and look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin ETF came out in 2024. Ethereum ETF came out in 2024. This is when the cycle changed. Cycle changed when institutions started injecting money into this market, dude. And so when people come out here and say the cycles are the same, it's hard. We've been going off a 4-year cycle because it's a debt cycle. But when it comes to the crypto side and it comes to everything else, I mean, I don't know if Trump has thrown a wrench into this thing, but I mean, I feel like it's kind of wild when you actually go back and zoom out on this. Like it's easy to get into the weeds of things. It's easy to look at really get dug in on the weeds and get caught up in what everyone's posting on X. But if you actually zoom out on this is what it looks like. This is the cycle, dude. And it's kind of crazy, right? It has been held down. We go through these cycle things now that the institutions are here. They drive the price down, drive it back up, drive the price down, drive it back up. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. So you can see right now, ratios are crazy. I told you guys, if you're going to be doing any leverage trading, look at the ratios here. Ratios have completely flipped. We knew at some point, and I second guessed myself last night. I was going to actually put in a long position with XRP, with Ethereum, Bitcoin, HBAR, and Solana, and I ended up not doing it because there was 2 indicators that were conflicting last night that I ended up not doing it. I was so close to doing it because the 4-hour was telling me to do it, and I just didn't do it. And it is what it is. We lick our wounds a little bit and move on. But you can see right now that the amount of short liquidations are getting obliterated. But it's not even close to the levels of what the long positions were. As you guys remember, yesterday when the shorts were getting liquidated, when the longs were getting liquidated, we were at over $1 billion in 24 hours, getting absolutely shredded. Today we're only at 411. We literally split that in half. What's the lowest you can see XRP going down to? I mean, again, I think it's crazy. Midwest Ziggy, I think it's for me when it comes to Lemon Pie, welcome. It's all good, dude. Is BTC still a buy? I mean, I was hoping people were buying in the red. You should be buying in the red days, not be buying in the green days. But I mean, Bitcoin, I think, is always one of those nice ones. I'd say 190 has been a pretty conservative number overall for XRP. Are you talking like bear market Midwest or like right now? Are you talking like bear market or what's up? Getting back in after 6 months out. All right, dude. I mean, the time is coming, dude. I think that we've already seen Trump come out here and say that. I mean, there's some data out here showing that Q1 and Q2 could actually be really, really good. Everyone's going to have their own beliefs and their own, their own things on this. No one's right until it's actually done. So here we go. You know what I mean? But for the first time in history, total assets in U.S. money market accounts have surpassed $8 trillion. Money market funds are now paying a record $500 billion in dividends per year. Insane, dude. Insane to see this come through, and then the amount of money coming in right now. And so anyone out there telling you that these markets are rough, or people that the market that we're going into a recession, all this kind of stuff, just realize that's just a bunch of BS, dude. Like, don't listen to people on X. Not a lot. I mean, there's some people that are right on X, but like, there's so many other positive things coming in. Like, go do your own research on this, look it up here. But what's crazy about this, dude, is that if BTC does hit $100,000, $10 billion in short positions will be liquidated, dude. This is where it's going to get crazy. If we hit 100,000, and this could cause a massive short squeeze if this actually happens. And again, I don't know if it's going to, but if it does, the short squeeze that's going to happen could literally rally us from $100,000 from a BTC level, maybe up to all-time highs based off the amount of shorts are in here. We're talking $10 billion. That would be one of the largest liquidation events in history if that happened. So I'm hoping it doesn't happen as fast. But I mean, just imagine if $10 billion got liquidated, that would be crazy, right? I mean, even just $100 million is crazy. But just imagine that, and just realize that I think people out here anyone holding the shorts right now are kind of sweating it right now. But this is where it gets really cool here, because as you guys know, I love history here, and I love looking at these things. And you can see right now, when we go into quantitative tightening, which is in the red here, we obviously struggle through some times. We go through quantitative easing and we rally through the tops. This was back in 2021, 2022, when we hit all-time highs. Obviously, we had quantitative tightening because of the pandemic. That was what caused all this right here. And even through that time, we actually rallied out of it. Since then, went into basically almost 4 years of quantitative tightening, right? Through the Biden administration, went through quantitative tightening. However, we continue to rally through this, but realize that when we get out of quantitative tightening, we could come down just slightly. Look at that, dude. We come down to quantitative tightening, we go into quantitative easing here. And I think that's kind of what we're going to see here. We haven't gone into easing yet, right? I think we just stopped, or maybe we have announced that we're going into quantitative easing. I have to go back and look at that. But I think this is just an end to quantitative tightening. I don't think we've gone into quantitative easing yet. So just realize that we could have some volatility coming through these levels here because of us stopping, right? You can see there's a little gap right here where we don't, and then we rally back out of it. So something to consider here. This is when doing TA on news will pay off. Yeah. I mean, news plays a big role, Andy. I'm with you, dude. I think news is huge. I mean, you got to stay on top of the news. You just never know when some event out there can happen. Austin, what's your thoughts on the Bitcoin stock that Trump boys involved in? ABC. I have no idea, Ziegles. I probably wouldn't touch it. I probably wouldn't touch it, dude. Drake May, Vegas odds leader for MVP. Oh, yeah. Drake May's killing it, bro. He's killing it, dude. Nobody actually knows what the hell is going to happen, unfortunately. Yeah, dude. No one knows, dude. Actually, that's true. The only person that probably does know is probably Trump. I feel like Trump knows. I feel like Trump can change the economy and, like, I mean, he could literally go and start, invading Venezuela, and next thing you know, we'd probably have a market fallout. That could happen. That's Trump Jr. stock dropped 40%. Say, gosh, dang, dude. I know. Quantitative tightening said you should just say QEQT, but yeah, quantitative, right? Stand man. That's a hard thing to say, man. Like upward violently, it would a short squeeze like this. I mean, if we hit 10 billion shorts got liquidated at 100,000 with Bitcoin, which again would be a hard level to get to. And don't get me wrong, dude, these exchanges are probably seeking that out because they make a ton of money for it. So realize that if you're holding a short position, that these people may seek it out. You just never know. But if that happened, I mean, that would be a crazy thing in the market. So we're starting to see that come through here. Quantitative tightening comes to an end here. We'll see what happens. But I mean, it will be nice to get back into quantitative easing. As you guys know, good old, I think, I can't remember who's actually up, but right now we know that Jerome Powell is going to retire here. We know that a new Fed chair is going to be announced, and I think that can actually be positive for a lot of things here. Going back to our banana hammock guy, as you guys know, love this guy, dude. So Raoul Pal, He obviously came out here and he's the banana hammock guy that we talk about. He's this guy right here. If you don't know, he came out here and talked about the corrections here. And we'll play these videos because I think these are really good videos because it's exactly what's playing out right now, almost to a T, dude. I played this almost a year ago, right? Didn't we always talk about this a year ago when he posted, or maybe it was like 6 months ago he posted this. But he's coming back out here, and I mean, again, the cycle he's talking about here of just we're going to actually play this because I think it's really good to like listen to the cycle here. And I wish that I could actually not have to do this, but we're gonna do stop screen. I hate that I have to do a tab. We're gonna share a tab here for the audio. Hopefully over on the TikTok side, you guys can hear the audio. Let me know if you can on the TikTok side, but we're gonna play it now. Let me get my screen back up here. Listen to what Raul says here. I think this is different. People actually didn't like what he had to say here. Some people actually, some people didn't like what he had to say. So let's listen.
Why is Bitcoin sort of not wildly off to the races yet? And it's this chart. Bitcoin is basically, this is a detrended Bitcoin. And it's basically the ISM, which is the business cycle.
Yep.
Remember, we've always said it's the business cycle stupid. It is always the business cycle stupid. And all of these people who claim it's the 4-year cycle based around this and that, they don't understand the fundamental of what the business cycle is, why there's a 4-year cycle in everything. And we've explained it. We'll go through it in great detail tomorrow in our Everything Code presentation. But basically, it's following the ISM. And rates have been following the same pattern. You see, rates should have come lower. They need to come lower because we need to roll the debt. We've talked about this. That's part of the Everything Code, fundamental part. And ISM, because rates are so high, has meant that Main Street has been screwed while Wall Street's made money from debasement. Earnings versus scarce assets. This is the issue that they need to solve, and they need to get rates lower. They get rates lower. Why? Why do we have an elongated business cycle that looks like virtually no other real other time? It's because, and I only just found this out redoing the work on the Everything Code recently, is that in 2021-22, they actually extended the maturity of the debt from 4 years to 5 years.
That's crazy.
So that extension of the maturity of debt has pushed out the business cycle a year. The 4-year cycle this time around is a 5-year cycle. We don't know what the next one will be until we see where they all end up getting refinanced. Whether it comes back to 4 because they managed to get some stuff at the long end, or whether they shorten it because everything's in the short end. We don't know yet. But this one is a 5-year cycle. And this is what it looks like. A 5.4-year sine curve. 5.4 years is the exact average weighted maturity of the debt. And it tells us the ISM should peak by 2026. We think liquidity probably peaks before that, as the rate of change of ISM changes and the rate of change of liquidity changes. Our best guess remains well into 2026, probably Q2.
So there you go, dude. I this is what's this guy is this obviously my father. You guys know he does economics or teaches economics for at colleges. He's obviously he's a doctorate in it himself, and so he speaks. He came on the channel and spoke about this as well. He talked about it being in Q2 through the business cycle, and believing that we're on a 5-year cycle as well, which would consider to be a super cycle of what we're at here. Some people laughed at that. Some people didn't believe in that. But I mean, that's kind of what we saw right here. And it is kind of crazy, dude. I mean, I know that some people might not agree with it. Some people might disagree with it. But what it comes down to for me is that I do think that we're on a business cycle here because the rates have been, if the rates came down at a lower time when they're supposed to come down, then that's what we would see here. And unfortunately, that's not what happened. Unfortunately, we didn't cut the rates like we were supposed to. We didn't cut the rates at all like we were supposed to. And that's the crazy part about this is that if he actually did cut the rates, we would have probably continued the business cycle where we're at. But that's not how it worked out. That's not how it worked out at all. And so that's why we're shifted into a 5-year cycle. And I know some people are going to laugh at that. Some people are going to go, yeah, no way, dude. This is a business cycle. This is how it should be. Like, people are going to laugh. But I mean, I agree with them, dude. Not only is my father saying it, but I mean, you have other people out here saying the same damn thing. And if you don't remember, this is the banana hammock guy, same guy that I played way back when. And here's exactly what he said. And this is exactly where we're at today, dude. Dude, quantitative easing has started. Yeah. There could be a pause, but here we go.
And we'll go up to the next phase of
correction zone. That's going
right here.
And we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, "Is it over?" And you'll definitely be sure it's over. And everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. And
there you go, dude. So we're already at correction phase. You can see right here, we're at the correction, going into the next correction phase here. And what's crazy about this is that we're going through the correction phase 1, we're going into correction phase 2. This is correction phase 2 that we talked about here. 35%. If you go back and actually look at this, what's crazy about this, if you go back and look at this, we went down roughly 36.1%. So he almost got it to a T. He almost called it to a T, 35%. He said it went down to 36%. So kudos to him for saying that. But I mean, we've been tracking this for 6 months. Everyone on X has gone down and said the same thing. We're doom and gloom, dude. We're over. It's over. Everyone's sure it's over. Andy Mendez is sure it's over right now. I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate it. A lot of people out here believe it's over, and it's not. Like, we just hit this level, and so don't let the bears scare you away, dude. That's basically what it comes down to for me, is just don't let the bears scare you away from where we're at. I think it's super important that people recognize that, because unfortunately, you do go out on X, you do go out on the Twitter page, and you do see this stuff, right? You do see people talking about this, but that's where we're at. I mean, go back and look at these things, and the charts are telling us that too. RSI is down, indicators are down. 5-year cycle, you guys could believe it or not. It's up to you to decide whether you believe it's a 5-year cycle. But I think that's kind of where we're at, dude. What's up, Eco? Good to see you, buddy. Did Trump say anything important this morning? He said that they're going to actually be cutting income taxes, dude. Very shortly, income taxes will be shut. But the thing is, here, like me in Washington State, doesn't benefit me because I mean, I don't pay income tax here in Washington State. That's one positive thing about Washington State, is that it's been a no income tax state, and no corporate income tax either. So it's been positive from that standpoint. The only down draw is that they have put it on they have put income tax on the ballot, and I hope that people reject it, because that would suck. But Trump did come out and say that, so it's really good to see that. Look at this, dude. BlackRock spot ETFs volume surpasses 1.8 billion in the first 2 hours of trading today. So you got all these people. If you guys don't know, if you're not tracking this stuff, go to Arcam. Take a look at this stuff today. Like, double check your work on it. You can see that these institutions are buying this up this morning. Anyone that isn't hasn't joined Arcam, just go or log in. You can create an account. You can do whatever you want here, but you can see, look at the amount of money coming in through BlackRock. Grayscale, people are buying on Grayscale as well. Obviously, there's some buys and sells coming in here, but this is looking really, really good. We're going to be tracking. We track this every day. I come in here and I look at BlackRock every day. I know it's easy to come out here on X and see these things, but I mean, it is kind of crazy when you see the amount of money coming in, and it's continually coming in. This is the one I was talking about right here. You can see that I'm not going to play the video here, but if you go back and watch SEC Chairman Atkins talk on Squawk Box today, he's basically saying that the SEC is pushing new crypto rules despite major Wall Street warnings. Regulators are moving towards a friendlier digital asset framework, even as traditional exchanges fear competitive disadvantages. It says the decade-long wait is over. Less fear, more clarity, more growth. And so he basically came out here and said that he's not looking to dampen any crypto innovation. If anything, this is going to go into January. That's when decisions are going to be made, and we'll go from there, dude. Bitcoin can hit 200K easily. Yeah. Draven, yeah, there's always market manipulation in this whole thing, dude. What's up, Boston? Is market pumping because quantitative easing? Quantitative easing. Quantitative tightening stopped. I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot of positive things coming in through this, right? I think the Vanguard, obviously Bank of America, got the SEC chairperson out here saying what they're planning on doing. We know that the cycles are at the bottom here. I mean, I just went through these, the RSIs here. Went through the liquidity capitulations. I mean, there's a lot of good things coming to the markets right now, which again, where the turnout's going to be. So you are more skilled and knowledgeable than Banana Man. He's pretty damn knowledgeable, dude. I have to give him credit. He's pretty knowledgeable, and he puts out some pretty good stuff here. But I mean, that's he's an economist, dude. Like, that's kind of what he does. He looks at the data, he presents the data, and you can see that. I mean, the levels have shifted here. There's no question about it. You just go back and look at these things, dude. The cycles have changed. This is a different cycle now, and we are going into a different cycle. I believe it. My father's been saying it for well over 6 months that we're going to go into 2026. He said we were going to go into a soft land, and if you guys go back and actually watch the video, I got to have him on here more because he actually puts in some pretty good insight. But he came out, he flat out said it, dude, that we're going to have a softening going into Q4. It's probably going to be a week November, December. And but then we're going to rally out of it in 2026, and that's kind of what's happening right now. We'll see. We'll see. We still have a month to go. We still have a month to go to see what happens here. But it is nice to come back here and see that, Bitcoin, I mean, we are back into a positive December, even though it's only 0.62%. But I mean, we'll see what happens here. I mean, obviously this is a good thing to track right here. You can see that yesterday the lowest sells for BlackRock when it came to Bitcoin in their ETFs here. Now they're coming up and they're gobbling it back up. So it is kind of a positive thing to see here. Again, going back and looking at this, as you guys know, every red November is followed by a red or a negative December. That's kind of the downside to this. But hopefully we maybe we change the course of history here. It's not even tax season yet. It's spending season where everyone is programmed to blow money on presents. Very true. It's a true statement, dude. I'm not looking forward to Christmas. It's just like just buying presents, wrapping presents, like, all the things you got to go do. Like, it's crazy, dude. Who's this banana man? Can you repeat? I will add him on my app. Yeah, his name is right here. I'll put it down and I'll put his correct name. There's a lot of his name is Raul Paul right here. Let me get his proper Twitter. I'm following him on here, but I think it's right here. This is the guy right here. He's got 1.2 million followers. I'll put it down in the description box below, and you guys can take a look at him. There you go. I'll just put it down below, dude. And I'll put it over here in the chat as well for you guys. I guess I can't paste over there on TikTok. But his name is Raul Paul. He's definitely knows. I mean, he's a macro investor. He does a really good job with his vision. I mean, like, you should definitely go follow him. Listen to what, I mean, he's very good at what he says. I mean, he's good at tracking data, which is what it's about, dude. Glad to finally see crypto decoupling from stocks. I just think that a lot of money is flowing out of stocks and into crypto. Just like we saw this before, is that we saw a lot of money flowing out of crypto and into stocks. I mean, that's the coupling that we're looking for. Unfortunately, sometimes yesterday was not a good day, right? I mean, Bitcoin was taking a dump and it was kind of affecting the NASDAQ to some degree and the S&P 500. I felt like there was both. So sorry, I'm like, what's up, Accountable Dreamer? Good to see you, buddy. Bitcoin is not over until pension funds are full with it. It's the only important indicator. It's true. I'll give you that. Okay, I'll be back. All right, Andy. This is our top next to 80K. All right, dude. Are you okay? I know Raul Paul. He's OG. Yeah, he's pretty good, dude. I like him, dude. I think he's pretty good. Kramer trying to crash crypto by being bullish. Oh man, yeah, Kramer, get Kramer out of here, man. We don't need Kramer being positive about anything when it comes to crypto. So these are actually really, really good signs here. This is the one I was talking about earlier. I mean, we're going to have an announcement probably coming here in December about who the next Fed chair is going to be. And right now, Kevin Hassett is going to most likely be the next Fed chair. Right now, the record high surge of 81% are believing he is, and everyone else is falling down, dude. Kevin Warsh is coming down, Rick Reeder's coming down, and then Scott Bassett. And I actually like Scott Bassett, but I mean, I think he's doing a good job where he's at. But I mean, Kevin Hassett's probably going to be the one that takes it over. And we know that rate cuts are coming, dude. Rate cuts are coming. This is continually climbing, 87.2%. As you guys know, dude, literally a week and a half ago, this was down to 49, right? Markets were tanking. Everyone was freaking out, dude. Fear in the market. Everyone freaking out because the rate cuts went down to 49 or 48% or whatever it was. Now, like literally a week goes by, things look good. And what's crazy about this is that now we're back up to 87.24. And what this is just a 25 basis point. Let's go to January now, dude. January is actually shifting now back up to here. They're thinking that we're going to keep rates the same here in January. And again, you got to realize that when you actually insert a ghost Fed chairperson, and if it is Scott, then we know that he's going to be saying something different. And this could actually be positive, but it can also be negative in the markets. This could be a drawback because, unfortunately, when you have the future chairperson saying, "Hey, no, we should be cutting rates by 50 basis points," and you have Jerome Powell coming out here saying, "No, we're only taking a 25 basis points," you're going to have this massive conflict, right? And people are actually going to listen to Kevin more than they're going to listen to Jerome because he's actually the one that's going to be stepping in here in May, so in about 5 months, and that's what's going to get crazy. So people are going to know that, like, hey, this is what Kevin's believing, and he's going to come out and put his opinions out for the next 5 months. So whatever Jerome Powell basically says from here on out is going to be null and void because Kevin's going to come out and say whatever he feels. And I mean, so it's going to be interesting to sort of see how it plays out here. But we do know that we have about roughly 6 months in 2026 to see this rally come out. They say the pump happens when people least expect it and people started giving up. All we need is the Fed say no cut. I know, right, Steve? That would really tank the markets if that happened, dude. I don't think it's going to happen though. It's all about the Japanese yen carrying trades. they need to regulate leveraging in the crypto space, or it'll be a repeat of the stock market crash when RWAs are fully adopted. Yeah, it's gonna be rough, dude. They're gonna have to. And what the regulation needs to be on the leveraging side of it, it needs to be on, and they need to hold the exchanges accountable. It's not the retail investors like you and I. It's the exchanges and the institutions that are also doing the same thing. I mean, you got institutions out here that are probably shorting other cryptos. I mean, you probably got institutions out here shorting Bitcoin. It's probably happening right now. You probably got BlackRock going, "Hey, dude, we're going to go short Bitcoin on Binance, and then we're going to go sell all of our, we're going to go sell our ETFs." And then not only are they double dipping, there's no one to hold them accountable for it. So I don't know if they're ever going to be able to do that, because there's dark pools out there right now. I mean, look at the dark pools of perpetual trading with Aster, right? And I don't think that's bad. I actually am for decentralization, privacy, all that kind of stuff. I think people should trade in privacy. But what it comes down to for that is, I mean, Aster's creating the dark pools, for leverage trading, and we'll probably see more of that. So as much as we try to combat it, it's kind of like when it comes to decentralized side, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, 100% they hedge both ways. They got to Arsenal. They got to. I mean, we know that. I think we know that, and that's where these massive liquidation events are happening, because they're leveraging right now, dude. These exchanges are they're working with Coinbase, they're working with Binance and all these other companies to have these liquidation events happen. I truly believe that. You couldn't change my mind on that. I mean, that's just my own personal opinion, but like that's kind of where it's at. So, it could be more clear now. So, they say, the pump's happening here. But shout out to XCL, shout out to Sentinel, dude. This actually just reached roughly $1,052,904 on the pre-sale. 22 days left. This pre-sale is ramping up pretty quickly, dude. I think 52,000 just came in the last since this morning, dude. Since this morning, I think 52,000 came in. So pretty crazy to see Sentinel continue to climb here. XCL, obviously our other little pre-sale bag, is actually looking pretty good today too. I mean, the whole markets are up right now, but XCL back up above the three. So about up about 300% on this crypto right now. So looking pretty good there. So shout out to the XCL Mafia, always holding it down in the chat for us. And thank you guys for always holding it down there. Let's go to the charting here. I want to look at some charts here. So as you guys can see, we're on the weeklies right here. Weeklies are obviously upticking here on Bitcoin. This is starting to make a recovery here. Let me get the BSMB's comment out of the way here so you can see. You can see right down here at the bottom, we have a nice little uptick back up. This is actually a really good indicator here that we might have hit bottom right here and hopefully continue to climb back up. This is on Bitcoin. We're seeing it on Ethereum now. XRP is actually just starting to as well. And then you got our baby HBAR over here, who's just actually tiny bit coming up here. But XRP is actually looking to be, HBAR is actually looking to be a nice one to jump into right now. For me personally, like that's the one I'm probably gonna play around with a little bit more. So HBAR is looking pretty good at that, about that 14 cents. If you guys weren't buying it yesterday, it was at 13.2, now back up to 14. So it's climbed up really nicely. Solana's looking pretty damn good too. You can see we're starting to make a little bit of a comeback here on the weekly here. Same with XLM. Everything's trying to make that curve back upward. The day chart's at the top right now. These are the indicators that got me off yesterday. We had our day chart that was up at the top here, starting to come down last night, right? And then on top of that, my 4-hour was actually at the bottom. And I was thinking like maybe it was going to come up and get rejected here at the 20, but it actually ran through the 20, went up past the 50, and here we are right now. So that was kind of the indicator that threw me off yesterday with doing this, was like trying to, I overthought it with the day chart. 12 hours actually at the bottom. So you had two of those. And then the hour at that time was actually coming down too. So it was just kind of like I had some mixed bags. But yeah. Also, I wanted to point out, guys, one thing I wanted to point out as well. I have partnered with a company called Track My Trades. This is actually free for anyone who is part of the A team here. All you got to do is go over to my Discord, and you can actually sign up for an account here. And basically, you can track all your trades. You can make strategies in here. This is free for anyone within the A team. So there is a base. There's a base. Basically, it's like a place you can go. You can do strategies. You can do trade calculators. You can track your bags. It's kind of a cool thing here. It's for, like I said, you can go into my Discord, and anyone in there, you can actually click the link. I think Twiz might have made it public in the Discord. Let me see real quick right here. Don't switch. I think he made it public today, or maybe he didn't. I'd have to ask him. Let me ask Twiz real quick if he made it public here. Where's Twiz? Actually, tell you the truth, let me text Twiz. I'm gonna text Twiz and see if he made it public yet. For anyone, and like I said, you can go click on the link here. can you make my trades public? And maybe he has already. I don't know. If you guys haven't seen it yet, there's an open discussion. I don't think I don't think he's made it public yet, but I'm gonna make it public right now for anyone that can jump in here. I think this is actually a pretty cool thing. I started messing around with it. You go in here and you basically put in your positions. But the cool part is that you're actually going to be able to connect your exchanges here. So anyone that has an exchange here can go in here and connect your exchanges that you're doing any leverage trading on, and it will actually transfer over all your trades directly into Track My Trade. So BTCC is coming soon, but BitNewX is out here, KuCoin, Phoenix is out here. So there's other ones. Bybit's coming, Gate.io is coming. Do you mean Twerk? No, Twiz. And so you can actually connect that, and it'll update all your trades right here. But this is really cool because you can actually go through and start strategizing your trades. So like when I go out and I do a trade, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to track my RSIs. I'm going to track certain things. And it's actually really, really good. I was messing around with it yesterday, and it's pretty cool. Breaking Fed just pumped 13.5 billion in the U.S. bank. So yeah, I saw that, dude. I'm DCAing into Cent, up about 500 so far. Nice, dude. Well, good luck trading, everyone. All right, Andy, appreciate you being here, man. Yeah, 500 bucks is awesome, dude. Yeah, Cent looking pretty good, dude. Cent's looking pretty good, dude. We'll pull data to track past trades. Yes, anything you need, step it into Grace. There's strategies here. You can actually go back and see how your strategies worked. So like if you want to actually create a new strategy here, you come in here and you say, okay, I'm going to enter a strategy. We'll just call it like AuzSOME. You say like, okay, I'm going to call it AuzSOME. And then you go down and you actually say what you want, right? You're going to say, okay, I want to see all of them here, trend, volatility. Well, I want to track the MACD here. I also want to track, let's actually track, I think there's another one here. Let's do volume profile. You guys know my Stosh, I'm obviously tracking that. And then I'm going to do my EMA. So here's the trend. Here's what I'm going to be tracking here. And then you can actually add your own custom stuff here. And you can make comments here. Like, here's what I want to look at, certain comments. If you want to, you can take a screenshot of your strategy and input it here, and the AI in here will actually do it. You put in your trading rules, your exit rules, and then you basically go down, you talk about how much you're going to do for leverage, and then you actually put in you create your strategy. And then you can follow that strategy. Then you go back to like my trades here, and you can actually see, like for this one, for instance, I'm on I just did like a basic one here, and I closed it out here, messing around with it. But really what I was saying here is that you come in here, you can actually put your positions in here, your longs, your leverages, and you can see where you've made money on this, right? You can see where your strategy is working, where your strategy is not working. It's a pretty cool little thing if you guys are into that kind of stuff, right? And I think if you are trading daily, this is something you should take a look at. It's free. It's free for anyone within my Discord. So go over there, sign up for it, and it's free. So you can mess around with it. It doesn't cost anything to do that. So just go in. All you got to do is just go in and create an account, attach an email to it, and then you can basically go. There is a link in my description box inside Discord for you to do that, dude. Will it pull data from tracking past trades? It very well could, yeah. So when are we expecting Bitcoin to drop to 75K? For me personally, I think it's Lonica. I think it's how I say it, right? When I look at where Bitcoin's at right now, let's just take a look at Bitcoin where it's at right now. I mean, like, again, I'm being more bullish on this. So like I look at Bitcoin and I look at it a little differently than most on here, but we haven't created a new low here. And again, I'm not saying that we have to go back to an all-time high, but what I like here is that if we could rally into an all-time high going into 2022, 2023, Q1 and Q2 of 2026, if we reach a new all-time high, we would actually play this out nicely. Because I've always said this before, is that we usually fall about 75% in Bitcoin. About 75% of Bitcoin's value gets lost in the bull run or in the bear market. And it usually goes down to the previous bull's previous high. And so right now, everyone's like, oh, it's going to fall down to this 30K or this, it's going to fall down to these certain levels here. And it's just crazy to me because like, when I think about that, I'm like, how is that even possible? It's going to fall down to these levels because like we haven't even reached levels for it to actually come down to those levels. So I kind of chuckle at it because like, that means that the cycles aren't the same. I mean, we talk about the whole cycle, and if that's were to happen now, then the cycles definitely don't match up because every single time Bitcoin has fallen down from when it went into the bear market, it went down to the previous bull's previous high. Just go back and look at the history of it. And again, different cycle, different time, but that's kind of where I was at with it. So I always did my math based off of that. And so, for that to actually come out to where we go back down to 74,000, I was always hoping that we'd get up to roughly a $250,000 Bitcoin, because then if you go from a $250,000 Bitcoin, we'll lose about 75% of its value. that puts us at roughly a 63. Anywhere from 70 to 75, right? So 70 would put us at roughly 72,000, and then roughly about 75 will put us about 61,000. So we would fall anywhere in between there in the next bear market. And so that's kind of where it goes based off the previous trends in the previous history. So I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here, but I'm just saying it's kind of wild. 70K by the end of December, and there's a lot of people out there that are bearish. I think that 75K could actually happen sooner rather than later. And that's the risk that's in this space. No one really knows. Indicators down here are telling us that we're going to have a potential rally out of here. Like these indicators, no matter how you look at it, even in the bear markets, these indicators don't stay at the bottom forever. Like this indicator is going to rally. And again, how far it goes up, I don't know. If we start to do something like this where it starts to rally up here and we've only gained about roughly 50% from the bottom, we gained about 45%, we already reached the height, then at that point you should go, yeah, maybe we are going to come down. Because if you go up about 50% from here, 50% from here puts us about roughly 137. If he goes back up here to about roughly 40%, puts about 130, which is right on my number right here. But even in the bear market, you got to realize, even in the bear market, we rally out of these, and this is a big percentage right here. This is actually a 50% increase before we had a relief rally at the bottom before we fell off again. So that's the question here: is how far will this relief rally that we're in right now go up before we fall off? And you're going to have to really monitor this weekly, because again, if this weekly starts to peak out and we're not up, we're only halfway up this, it's not going to be too good, dude. It's not going to be too good. So you got to really monitor that big time. And again, that's just my opinion right now. And that's kind of what I'm looking at. Every day we should come on here looking at the weeklies, looking at where this is going. And that's really how you track it. So that's just me. And where we're going here. Good morning. Before I pull the trigger on 25K XEC and the token on Kraken legit, I don't own XDC, dude. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't own XDC. Some people like XDC. I'm not. It's not mine. But some people like it. And I mean, obviously, if you're buying it on Kraken, I mean, Kraken's, that could be a legitimate space to do it. It will add some fun to Christmas. Oh, Cent, yeah. Cent closes on Christmas, I think. Isn't it Christmas? I think it closes. Yeah, the pre-sale ends on Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. I think or maybe it ends the couple days before 22. So it ends on the 20. So 20. Yeah, it ends on Christmas Eve, dude. So pre-sale ends on Christmas Eve. So, and last time with XCL went to roughly what? 24 to 48 hours after pre-sale ended, it went and launched. So yeah, 22 days from now, roughly 24 days from now, we should have a launched Cent out there, right? I like Monad. I'm actually going to say watch where it goes from a year from now. Yeah, I think that you should. To judge a project off of a pre-sale launch within, it's only been out for what, a week, not even a week maybe. And to judge it based off that is crazy. Like I said, like some of these pre-sales, you could judge away, dude. But some of them that are actually out here actually have some good stuff. I would give it some time to digest, come out here and go from there, dude. My bad. Must have confused projects. Oh yeah, you're good. So, but yeah, I think Cent has a good shot to do very well. Obviously, they are out here unleashing a massive amount of trading bots and basically an ecosystem of trading bots to go out here and obliterate, arbitrage exchanges and dexes, right? And then give it all back to the holder. So, I mean, you can't discount that, dude. I mean, that's pretty cool. What about PWT? When is that going to launch after pre-sale? Good question. I have no idea with Pure Wallet. Pure Wallet obviously is another pre-sale that we're in here. Obviously this is the one I actually know the developers went over there. They're launching here 29 days, 5. Is it 29 days now? Is that okay? Maybe it was 29 days. But yeah, this pre-sale is still going. And we'll see what happens here. I don't know exactly how this one's going to work out, dude. So obviously I have some money wrapped up in this one. I have about 8,000 wrapped up in this one. Sentinel, I have about 20,000. I have about like almost 21,000 wrapped up in Sentinel. I'll be definitely putting some more money in the Sentinel pre-sale before this thing's over, dude. Obviously with ETH rallying back here, you could have bought it at a cheaper pace, right? To buy this, if you bought it yesterday, you actually got it at a better price, right? Because it's based off ETH. It's not based off value. So I think you're buying it based off the ETH side of it. So if you bought yesterday when ETH was at like 2,700, I think you actually get more than when you buy now. You're spending a little bit more because it's based off the ETH side, I think. So I sold 75% of my Monad and made pretty good money, but I'm still holding a Moonbag. Nice, dude. That's the way to do it, man. Hold that Moonbag, dude. Definitely interesting. It is. I sold 75 to my money. Yeah, that's pretty good, dude. No be CBBM. I don't know what that is, CE George. I don't know what that is. But yeah. So now obviously people are jumping in today. See the price go up. Let's see here. Is it going up from there and then retraces them back down to 30? Yeah, we could look at that. So you can see right now. I mean, we're in these buy levels. I talked about this a couple days ago, dude. I talked about this yesterday. Actually, was it yesterday? Yesterday morning, I think I talked about this. Like these are buy. This is buy zones for Bitcoin. This is on the weekly. This fib's actually pulled on the weekly side of it. I mean, we can go back and look at the daily side too. But you can see these levels are actually in. This is like buy zone terror. This is like buy on these retracements. Like usually when we start to hit past the 0.65 below, we have a bounce back, right? Do we go back up to 100,000, which is the 0.5? Very well could. You can see right now we're going to hit some massive resistance at 95,000. So there's a good shot that this gets backed up into the golden pocket here, which is about 93. And then we're going to probably come back up in here and hit some massive resistance at 95, 96. You can see, look at the volume right here on this. That's a pretty good amount of volume it shifts when you start to zoom in. But you can see right here that that's a good volume right there at 95. 95, 96, 97. Like this whole area is going to be a rough ride to get above. So trying to get back to 100,000 is going to be tough. You're going to hit a lot of resistance here. So, but it's there, dude. Like this, if you love Austin, I appreciate that, Frederick. Thank you so much, man. So yeah, I think that these are definitely some buy zones. I haven't pulled a fib on, XRP has been a little bit sus for pulling a fib. You can see we've created, higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, or higher low, lower low, lower high, and then everyone was projecting that we're going to hit a lower low. But I mean, it was hard to pull a fib on this with this liquidation line right here. But I mean, even if you were to like discount this fib and go back, I mean, it's really hard knowing where we're at to pull a fib on this. You could probably pull the other way and it'd be better. But I mean, technically, even if you pull it the other way, we know this isn't a buy zone at this point. So same with H bar. You go back and look at H bar. I've had this fib out here for a long time on H bar. And I mean, it's definitely well within a buy zone. I mean, people are probably trying to buy, but every time it gets into these zones, it bounces up. We just had these liquidation events. But the day chart is eventually, hopefully, going to, we have these little V's that happen right here. You can see these little V's. Tend to bounce back up and do some nice things here. So I'm hoping that trend happens where we have a bounce back here and we go back up to about an 80, 90% on the RSI. So that's kind of what's happening right now. XLM, I haven't pulled one on here for a while, but XLM is definitely in a buy zone. It's actually back at the very low end of where it fell back in June of 2025. So these are all basically saying that they should be in these zones, and same with Link right now. So have a great day, YouTube bro. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you being here, dude. So yeah, it's good to see these come back here. Even Sui back above 150. As you guys know, I bought Sui at 150. Still sitting on it, just up a little bit on it. Nothing too crazy. I did watch it dwindle down a little bit, but I wasn't going to get out of it. So it is kind of nice to sort of see here these things rally back upwards. ETH is looking pretty damn nice right now. You could probably pull a nice little fib on this one if you wanted to from these levels here, or maybe even this level if you wanted to. But I mean, still, like it's technically in a buy zone. It actually came back if you pulled it from that level, which is back in April 2025. And again, this is on the daily. But if you pulled it back from that level, I mean, it came down and actually hit a pretty good. It's in the golden pocket at this point. If you pulled from that level, you didn't want to pull. You can pull from whatever level you want to pull from. There's nothing saying that you have to pull from certain levels. I mean, it's just what's best for you. Yeah. And where do you want me to put that link? Good question. Sorry, I'm texting Twiz. So yeah, he's gonna actually make it on the Discord, guys. Just to let you know, anyone in Discord, he just made Track My Trade. You can guys go over there and there's open discussion, there's support tickets, there's live support in there. Anyone that has issues with Track My Trades, definitely put those support tickets in there. The team, I added the team from Track My Trades into my Discord. So anyone that has questions or concerns or needs help with anything, they're there to answer you. You can put a support ticket in, and again, it's a free tool to use for anyone that's out there doing trades and wants to track them, wants to create strategies and do that kind of stuff. I think it's actually very, 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 very beneficial. So don't be hesitant to do it. We got Condos. Thanks so much Condos Patty, thanks so much for becoming a new member of the A team. You're officially now a member of the channel. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for being here, dude. And yeah, definitely go jump into that Discord. You'll be able to do it. Are we going to see BTC hit 200K this bull run? I'm kind of hoping so. I mean, 250 makes sense to me. I've always said 250 in the bull run makes sense to me from a Bitcoin standpoint, just because the retracement's so easy to do. So, yeah, awesome. Do you believe or feel like Cent can or will do the same levels as XCL? It's so hard to say, dude. XCL exceeded expectations with their launch. People have to believe in the project. People have to hold the project. And again, you're going to have people who are paper hands. They're going to sell. They're going to buy and sell. But you have to have people who are going to hold the project, hold the floor. And the good thing about it is that, wow. It's like I gotta do this little thing over here for TikTok. And I think Cent has a good shot, right? I mean, it all comes down to the community for XCL is going to also run the community for Cent, right? I mean, like they're all together. And so the token is going to go as far as the community wants it to go. Any crypto in this space is going to go as far as the community wants it to go. And, that's really what it comes down to. And I think that holds true. But I mean, Cent obviously raised way more in the pre-sale than XCL did. There's a lot more excitement around Cent. Cent is the moneymaker here in terms of generating profit for the project. I mean, it's crazy to see what they're going to be able to do and how much the bot has already done this month. I mean, the bot has already generated $48,629. You can see right here, you can go track these. It's gone up, right? It's been a little bit low, but now it's gone up on day 9 here. And it's good. It's good to see, dude. I mean, that's what you want. You want to see projects generate income for the project. If you can't generate income for a project, your project's gonna fail. It's gonna fail. And so to see that right now, to see that project come out and do that would be cool, right? Would be cool to actually self-sustain itself. Like that's the number one thing to do. And so just prepare for people who FOMO'd into XCL looking for a quick buck with Cent. We absolutely be paper hands. Yeah, that could happen, right? You can't guarantee anything in this space. I don't know what Cent's going to do. Like I said, the only way you're going to know is when it actually launches. Will regs make this bot illegal? I don't think arbitraging is illegal, dude. I don't think arbitraging is illegal. People arbitrage all the time, dude. So yeah, even the stock market, people arbitrage, bro. I think that would work. Please bring up the VRA chart. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh, what are you saying, Xander? Screw it. VRA goes minus 13, then plus 24. I'm starting trading in the morning once the pub is open. Oh, you into Veracity? Is that Veracity, dude? So, I mean, I think that we can have it will not hit 75K. I'm telling you, 75. It can hit 75K in the bear. I think Mattress Mike. I think at 75K in the bear is still on the table. Like 75% reduction is a very typical thing to do. Yeah, Antics took a shit, right? I don't know. I mean, everyone told me that Antics took a dump. I haven't even claimed my tokens with it because I don't even want to connect my wallet to the website. Is Trump talking about abolishing state income tax or federal? I do. Good question. I don't know if it's state or federal. If it was federal income tax, that would be wild, dude. But I would assume it's state income tax. That's a good question, Texas man. I don't know. If it's federal, then count me in, dude. I already don't pay state income tax, so that's nice. Antics wrecked a lot of people. Yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, again, it's funny. They have Doc's team. They have this team out there that's ahead of it all. And I talked about it. I made a video on Antics. I'm excited about the pre-sale. I got into the pre-sale. Obviously, I made a video about it. And it kind of sucks that they came out and didn't actually do what they said they were going to do in terms of launching the crypto, and kind of was a flop, unfortunately. I'm not here to like down Antics on it, but I mean it just kind of does suck. Like you got to hold people accountable when you need to, and it does suck, dude. They probably did, and they probably raised a lot of money, and we'll see what happens. But that's what's nice about Cent is that everything is going back into Cent. Everything's going back to build Cent, dude. Like that's the cool part. Like it goes back to the community. Like it's community. That's truly 100% community. That's what it's about. You got to find cryptos where it's about the community and about providing to the community. Like, people were saying the other day, like, I think I was on a space, like, how come the team for Cent, it's a good question. I don't know why either. I asked the question too. Like they could probably just go and do this themselves and just generate money themselves with it. But I think they recognize with Acceler that Acceler needed to actually run money through it, dude. So like Acceler needed to have money flowing through it to be successful itself, right? So That's what the dev team did. I mean, the dev team came out and created a solution to generate money to go through XCL. And that's what it's about, dude, is finding solutions, finding ways. And this is the way. And, I'm on board with stuff like that, dude. Also, state property taxes like New Jersey, Illinois, New York, California were high. Actually, Texas, but their housing prices are low. Oh, gotcha. Yes, Verocity, it's pumping and dumping every day. Gotcha, dude. Yeah, I don't really touch Verocity, Xander, to be honest with you. Check out the Scent Docs. Yeah, Scent Docs are looking pretty good, dude. Scent Docs are out there. If anyone has any questions about this, oh yeah, he has the Swarm protocol out there. Yeah, look at this. Collective Intelligence Network. Swarm deploys multiple Sentinel entities operating in coordination. A decentralized neural mesh where each unit shares market intelligence and executes synchronized strategies across the venue. This is brand new. This actually just came out today. Damn. And it says public within 3 days, 4 hours, and 39 minutes. So early protocol details available for pre-sale participants. The collective learns, the individual sharpens, the network grows stronger. So it says right here, individual core operates as a singular Sentinel entity through continuous trading cycles. Each core accumulates learning data, refining the patterns, recognizing and executing precision. As experience compounds, the system evolves, optimizing its capacity. Swarm performance scales directly with the per core efficiencies as each core sharpens, it executes. The collective output multiplies. Stronger individual drives a stronger network. So, damn. Learning parameters are RSI, volume profiles, funding rates, MACD, order flows. Dude, this is like right in my freaking wheelhouse, dude. Like, they're literally speaking our language here. Like, I'm not even freaking kidding you, dude. Like, this is badass. Latency patterns. Yeah, this is where it's at, dude. So imagine that, dude. Multiple Sentinel entities operating in coordination, a decentralized neural mesh where each unit shares market intelligence. Like, dude, what is going on here? Once the pre-sale is over, do you receive the tokens? Yeah, they usually get airdropped to your token, dude. Yeah, 3-day timer. So it looks like they're sending out deploying more Sentinels based off the Swarm protocol. Is that what they're calling it? Swarm protocol? Yeah, it's pretty cool, dude. Are you going to see BTC? Yeah. So yeah, kudos to them, dude. This is a pretty cool thing. So, and again, that all flows back. You go back to the dashboard here. I mean, that all flows back here, right? Profits made off of this flow back into here. You can see right now, I'm roughly sitting up estimated rewards for just holding through the pre-sale right now is about $193 in ETH that I've accumulated for just buying and holding the pre-sale because of what's generated through the protocol right now, through the bots. So yeah, 24,000 is going to go back to burn Scent, and roughly about almost 15,000 going back to burn XCL. So, and all this is going to get flushed through the XCL, the Fox formula. So yeah, should be airdrop first. Yeah, fast. It should be airdropped. Yeah, it should be airdropped pretty quickly. So yeah, count me in on this one, dude. You guys know I'm in on the Scent one, dude, for sure. But all right, guys, I got to go hop off, dude. Got some things to do today. Like I said, appreciate you guys all coming on and kicking with me tonight. I will be on tonight, though. And you can see right now, XRP obviously doing phenomenal. Back up to 217. Continues to climb over the last hour. Bitcoin trying to get back into the 93. We just reached 92,182. Ethereum holding off the 3,000 marker right now. Everything's kind of looking in the green right now. Stock markets are still looking pretty damn good. Kind of happy, man. I think this is a nice to wake up today, sort of see where things are at. And it's really good. It's a really good feeling, man. And just very happy to see that maybe we've had a nice little bounce back. Hopefully this is the relief rally that we've all been trying to hope for here. And just I hope that we can continue the rally. That's what it comes down to for me. So, yeah, with all that, guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys all over on the TikTok side for holding it down over there. Had a pretty good show out over there. So thank you guys so much. And like I said, we'll be back on tonight, probably around I'll probably be later tonight. I'll probably be like 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight, Pacific Standard Time. I'll be on. So hopefully we'll see you all there. And yeah, with all that, love you guys. We're out. Peace out, everyone.